the most bubbly nugget in the world who just continues to reinvent her awesome self. There she is! I'm so excited. I told you the energy level is just going to go because we have right there. And I think of all guests, Nancy will fully be able to embrace the humor of a split screen because of how your mind works. Are you at your sweet abode in Los Angeles, California?
I am. I can show you. This is kind of, I don't know if this will work or not.
Hey, take us around.
There's my cat.
Let's see. Of course.
Hi, Bunny.
Butt shot. We get the butt. Look at the pretty colors, by the way. Was that some pink and some teal?
This is. I'm in my office. I'm way up high here. I'm way up high. I'll step outside. I'm on this balcony. The glorious, I'll show you the surrounding area.
Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this oasis, playful farm-like abode that Nancy has created for herself.
Coop.
Right
those
back there on top of her head, those are real chickens, and she gets real eggs every day. Oh, look at that. And you go out and you clean it up and you run with them and they follow you, right?
Yeah, I do my thing. Cow.
There's a cow. Oh my gosh. Now, why would you specifically have a cow?
I've had this cow since about 1991, and Don't Have a Cow was already on every t-shirt, in the United States. So, of course, I had to have a cow if they're telling me to don't have a cow. So I had to have a cow.
Very simple. Nancy, you were there at the birth of my daughter at my home birth, and that was one of the phrases that got jokingly uttered to lighten the mood was "Don't have a cow."
Yeah, Don't Have a Cow was I think it was an 80s kind of a thing, or maybe even 70s. A phrase, right. And I don't know. So how's that, dude? You like that? I'm laying on my lounge chair.
I like the light on you right there, guys. What do you think of that? That's kind of nice. What's one of the most fun little nugget parts, besides like steady work as an actor, right? Like that's always fantastic. But what is something that is a really like special personal treasure for you, being a voice actor on one of the longest running show in history?
Well, without a doubt, because I have such anonymity. I mean, I don't look like my character at all. I mean, obviously, because he's a animated boy and I'm a woman, so I'm kind of an Annie Tranny, if you will.
Annie Tranny.
It's very, very politically correct. I'm an Annie Tranny.
That's right.
So there's a built-in anonymity that's really awesome because I can go anywhere, and I raised my family, and I wasn't invaded by paparazzi and most of my friends just take it all in stride, and I don't garner a lot of attention when I go shopping or I'm out in public. And really, it's kind of up to me to decide whether or not I want to reveal who I am. And that, to me, that's an amazing, what would you call that? It's just kind of like it's a low battery.
Superpower.
I have to go back and plug myself in. I have to lose this incredible. Wait a second. There we go. We have to be inside.
Mallory. Hi,
okay,
Jenny.
So I have to.
Hi, Renee.
No, what I was going to say was that I have to. I just use discretion, and I can just reveal myself or not. And it's just like one of the golden nuggets of being a voice actress is that, I can decide and be causative over if I want to reveal myself or not. And when I do, honest to God, I don't know who takes greater pleasure in that, me or
I just got goosebumps.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. I got goosebumps because I have witnessed the joy and the magic and the life-giving enthusiasm that your reveal has given to people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really special. And some people, you know, some of the reactions are really crazy. Some people, I'll say, yeah, I'm Bart Simpson, what's happening? They just keep talking. They don't get it. It just kind of, boom, went right over their, goes over their head. They didn't quite get it. I'll say it again, and they still don't get it. Or they do get it, and then they're like, what? You're who? I'm Bart Simpson, man. Wait a minute. You mean like you do the voice? I go, yeah, man. Nobody else talks like this. Whoa! It's I think it's I think that's a pretty cool thing. And then there are other cool things about it. Like I will get requests from Make-A-Wish Foundation, you know, for kids that this is their wish is to meet the Simpsons or meet Bart, you know, and I've had many experiences with that. That's been really, really beautiful, you know, seeing these kids smile.
Aww. And
I could share one. I could go on for 5 hours. This could be like the longest interview ever. Except I have to roast a ham and do a roast beef for tomorrow. That's not going to work.
What I also love is you know, you just sort of don't stop creating, and you're a painter and a sculptor as well. And has that always been part of like your wheelhouse loves? Did that happen?
No, actually that is it. Painting and sculpting is fairly new. Maybe about 4 years old I started doing it, and I've always had a sense, you know, some kind of a kind of a perception that I had this ability, but I never acted on it. If we go back to elementary school, we had to make a decision, and a lot of schools used to be like this. You had to decide between music or art. You couldn't do both because they all happened at the same time. And I opted for music because my big sister was a pianist, and that intrigued me. So I ended up playing the trumpet, and but I always felt deep down inside that I could. I was kind of a little bit envious of the guys that were in the art classes because they seemed to be having so much fun. And I was the only girl trumpet player. That was a bit of a struggle, but that's where Eat My Shorts came from. That never would have happened without me being in the marching band when I got in high school. So that was a fun little thing that came out of that was we would march to the football games, and the drummers would play dun 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 dun, dun Fairmont West, dun 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 Fairmont West. And my senior year, that little chant changed to dun 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 dun, dun Eat My Shorts. And when 200 all brass band, marching band players are saying "Eat My Shorts," the people sitting along the parade route have no idea what you're saying because it just is mumbled. But it was an expression that was a little naughty, you know, "Eat my shorts." But I remembered it, and then years later it came out as it was just an improv. It just like I blurted it out, and it got a big laugh at the table read for the show. And next thing I know, it became one of Bart's catchphrases, you know.
I didn't know that.
So that's where that came from. But the art thing, yeah, the art. Well, wait, what did you just say? I was talking at the same time.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you penned that phrase, coined that phrase.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I'll take full responsibility for that one, and for every kid that says it to his mother today, I apologize. But I started about 4 years ago. A friend, for my birthday, took me to an art gallery, took me to an art studio, and I started sculpting. And I had this whole idea in mind, and that's kind of where it started. So I've got 6 sculptures, and I've got about 20 paintings, and they're really unique. They're not done traditionally at all. They're reverse painting, which is along the line of the standard traditional animation art, where it's drawn on paper first and then traced onto very thin acrylic, like plastic. My kids were in my rec room. We're converting it now into an art gallery / screening room, and I'm super excited about this change. Eris is so easy to work with and comes up with bright ideas and introduces me to the right electrician. And Denice, you introduced me to the right person to hang my art. So down the line,
Yay.
people can, if they become fans of Nancy Cartwright, I think sometime the next kind of adventure I go on is like an art exhibition. Ah! I'll do an exhibition to make it official, but my website, I don't know about going to a gallery. I'm just going to create my own gallery, and if people want to buy my art or see my art, they'll go to my webpage and they can see it there. And we'll figure out if I'll invite total strangers to come to my house and go to my private gallery.
Well, you certainly in the past have invited many a stranger, curated strangers, for different humanitarian fundraisers that you have done. So
Yeah.
I feel like you would be, there is a bubble of safety and sanity at your amazing home. And but I always like to sort of underscore when my guest is telling me that these bits of magic, I like to kind of pull out a point. And one of the things that really stuck out for me was when you said, what I loved is that you started both of these art forms professionally, technically, 4 years ago, just
Yeah.
4 years ago. And I really love that. It's like, you're over 40, and
Well over 40. I'm a grandma.
right. And here you are,
this is me 26 years ago. I'm going to just show you this. Look at that. That's me and my kids. Christmas.
And you know who did your makeup and hair for that?
That's 26 years ago. This is.
Look at us.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
Super cute. That's my granddaughter.
Well, I love that when people think that it's too late for them to start something. And that's the part I want to underscore, is that it just isn't. And especially now with the web, with being able to if there's I know that you went and
I was going to say the same thing. I was totally going to say the same thing. There's no excuse
then
today.
You say it. Yeah.
Well, it's just like there's so many opportunities today. People think that there are, how am I going to do this? I don't have the money. I don't, there's a lot of, everybody has obstacles to overcome. I've got obstacles. They're just different. They're different. And it depends who you are and what your dreams are. But there are so many opportunities for you to create your own. And when I travel around and do lectures, I've been around the world to Oxford University, and I've been through Australia and Ireland and Canada, and not quite all around the world, but a pretty good portion of it, and have been brought in as a keynote speaker. And I tell these young people that I speak to that, it's all up to you. If somebody says no, then obviously you haven't gotten the yes yet. You've got to figure out another way to get your yes without being totally annoying and being a stalker. Right. It's like I really do believe this is true, is that the artists are the ones that change the world. We're the ones that, it's not the politicians, and it's not the scientists, and some of these guys do wonderful things for sure. Technologically, where would we be without Steve Jobs and Elon Musk? But the truth is that the artists are the ones that elevate our culture, and they give hope to individuals and actually to all of mankind. Because when you go to a museum, or you go to see your kid perform, either at holiday, at Christmas time, or you go to a recital and you see dance, you see art, you see oil paintings or sculptures, or even animation. Some of the animation that Disney and Pixar has done over the years, it can make you cry. And some of more internationally, if you've seen, the three, oh God, what's it called? That animated thing, the three, I forget the name of it. There's just some animation that's beautiful. It can make you cry, and that's the kind of. It's an aesthetic wavelength that just touches like the core of the being, that inspires you to want to do better. So that's kind of if I were a book, it would be my leitmotif. If I were, it's Nancy Cartwright's underlying theme for it's survival. You have to somehow do what you love. And just because you don't get paid to be an artist should not be a reason for you not to do it. In other words, you should have an
Amen.
outlet somewhere, somehow. Create a website. You could create your own, YouTube page. You can go out and Denice and I went on a road trip and we created art by doing that. It was incredible. Took a 1952 Chevy pickup, drove across the country and asked people, what are you in search of? That to me that's creating art. That's the human touching with individuals. And I'm really talking a lot here. Richard, thank you so much.
That's what you're here for. That's why you're here.
It's true. It's true. And you can't, and when you do that, you bring out the best in someone. I can change somebody's attitude just by that, by making them smile.
Yeah.
It's Christmas Eve right now, and it's a gift. It's a gift, but we all have that ability to do that.
It's so true. You live so much in the present time, and to you it is the gift. A present is the present time that you give to people, and you just, no matter where you go, whoever you're at Macy's and you're buying an item for something, and you give the time of day to the person. Sometimes they look at your credit card and they recognize your name, and that causes an even better effect.
Yeah.
Even without any of that, you make everyone, you walk away and everyone already knows you're a star, and because of the graciousness that you grant to them. And that's really such a perfect combination. I mean, there are tortured artists out there, and it's great that they've made good art, but isn't it better to live, right?
Yeah.
That's my sentence.
Well, and to add to that, and I mean, it's a little different, obviously, since I am a celebrity, but honestly, Denice, you know what I'm talking about because you do the same thing. There's no way that I never have fun being with you. We always go out and create magic wherever we go. We lift people up because it's infectious. People are drawn to that. They're attracted to lightness. That's that incredible lightness of being. It's just like that ability to just lift somebody up because you say a kind word and it's sincere. It can't be bullshit. And if you have to bullshit, people can smell that a mile off. So when it comes from your heart, people are moved by that, and it helps to make this crazy world much better. That's what I live for. I love it.
Well, you live it 100%. We'll wrap this up here because we all have our Christmas Eve to tend to. But I'd be remiss to not congratulate you on now your amazing theatrical run of In Search of Fellini. I mean, who makes a film, puts it in festivals, gets awards, and then gets it in theaters across the U.S. And then now iTunes is distributing it, and tell us it's going to Netflix.
Yeah, it's available on any kind of the platforms that are out there, iTunes or Amazon, through your phone or your iPad or television or whatever, and you can rent it or buy it. But in a month, on January 23rd, almost exactly a month, it will be available as a DVD. And Taron Lexton, who's the director, he and I do a commentary. So that's the cool thing about DVDs is I love watching the DVDs and listening to how they made the film. And you'll see also an eight-minute segment of behind the scenes. It was the most extraordinary artistic endeavor I have ever taken on. And it was really a 20-plus year project that happened in 1985, but it was after I did it as a one-woman show in 1995 that then we started to develop it as a film. And it was incredible labor of love with a lot of very passionate, like-minded individuals, total artists that were involved with it. So, it's a good film to watch during the holidays. It'll lift you up. Thanks, Richard. It's so much fun.
It is completely an art piece in itself. Every frame. It's called In Search of Fellini. I have known about the evolution of this for over 20 years, from her one-woman show that she started it as, where she basically would act this out just herself, this autobiographical story, but always had it in her head at every mani-pedi that we went to that she wanted to make a film out of this, and that one day she would be in Italy doing this. And it all started with a what if we made this film? What if like we were in Italy and I was shooting this? And she just never lost sight of that. She never poo-pooed that thought of it. And it's not like you are a screenwriter or a director or a producer. You're an amazing voiceover actress. I mean, you've produced animated stuff, but this was live action. It wasn't completely in your wheelhouse, but you just never lost sight of it, and you surrounded yourself with professionals.
I think that's so important. It's so important for artists to know that, and I never had any problem talking about it, by the way. I feel it's like, because that, every time I told the story, I'm telling you, it changed. Ended up having like a dozen scripts. All these comments, you guys, Richard, Eris, you guys are such fans.
Oh, beautiful. Ina Swinton. I just photographed her. She has an incredible daughter who, if you do other films, you can hire both of them. They both work all the time.
Awesome. Awesome.
Darby. Okay. Brian Cotter said he saw it last night and it was stunning, beautiful, and your cameo.
Thanks, Brian.
Ha 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 ha. Stephen, Derek. Okay. Yes, surrounding yourself with great people.
Yeah, do what you love. Surround yourself with people who love what you do and they support you in the best way. Be a professional. Hitch your wagon to a mentor, somebody that can guide you. You know, trust yourself.
Yes, you're going to fall on your face, but just keep going with grace and enthusiasm, and it's going to be okay. And more than okay.
Denise, you and me.
We do, and that's what feeds us. And if you don't, then get yourself some. You know, that's part of the sort of, as they say, the waxing the enthusiasm, right? Because when you're away from it for a while, you start to lose touch and you can start to doubt yourself, and that's all a crock of crap, because you are fully awesome, and all spirits, I fully believe, are artists by nature. And
there you go.
I just love that you said, that no matter whether you're paid for it or not, you need to pursue that, and it is never too late to pursue that dream. Miss Nancy Cartwright, I just love you to pieces. And I love you more than every silvery, sparkly ribbon that's on every present under every tree right now. So thank you.